Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Warden and the Paunch, where today I think we have some important questing to do. We're going to get our next Waaagh, and we're going to get it soon. Right, we're at 96 right now, but I think we want to get it really, really soon. Like, we don't want to wait 4 whole turns, because we know that the strength of the trophies earned from the Waaagh are based on the global strength rank of the enemy that you Waaagh against. My concern is that with the way things are going in this area, Ostland is probably going to lose a considerable amount of strength soon, and I'd like to try to set my Waaagh against them while they're still strength rank 46. So, I think we need to get in a big fight this turn. Let's try to push that reputation bar up, right? And we could get into a big fight with the Skaven. We're probably going to end up fighting these Skaven eventually, but if we do it now, obviously we have the problem where all of a sudden we're fighting on 2 different fronts, and we really don't have the kind of military force that you need for something like that. We just don't, 2 armies is not good enough, in my opinion. So, there is another kind of battle we could get into really quickly here that will not have any consequences beyond the battle itself, no long-term strategic problems. So let's do that, shall we? I think we're going to have Waaagh fall back into our own territory, and then we'll teleport to the battle from there. I don't remember if doing the teleport thing removes the rest of your movement for the turn, but just in case it does, let's put him in friendly territory. And is there anything we want to do to this army first? I guess we could spend some scrap, right? So we have a little bit of a weird situation with these guys because of the way that the early access patches worked out, where it kind of thinks they still have a scrap upgrade, but not really. Like you can see on any other unit that has a scrap upgrade, you're not allowed to buy any of the things, so they're only allowed to have 1 scrap upgrade. There should never be a case where this is happening. One of them is locked off, but not the others. It's definitely weird. But I guess we should go ahead and buy stuff. What options do we have here on the Crimson Killers? They could get bonus versus large. Whoa. Adding rudimentary telescopic features to handheld weapons means even the most diminutive greenskins could give bigger enemies a good stabbing. Why would they be telescoping? Why wouldn't they just be longer sticks? Who would design that way? I think we want to take a bonus versus infantry here. We have enough troops who have bonus versus large with the biggins, and also the battle we're going into right now is not a battle where bonus versus large is going to be particularly meaningful. That's a big expensive upgrade, though. That was 80 of our scrap. Do we know what we're doing next? We are going to want 50 scrap left over on our way out to the thing we're doing, and I think... well, we were pushing towards Sharon as Karen first, right? So actually, we probably don't need this for quite some time. So we could go ahead and spend all of our scrap. We don't need to save anything. So do I want to armor up? I kind of think I want more kill. Get more kill. Spend the scrap. Click the button for more kill. And then is our catapult... Okay, our catapult is in the same spot where it's like kind of weird. Some of the upgrades think that it's already been hit. And I mean, it does have the icon here still. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. That's weird stuff. Alright, I think this force is ready to go. What is left in the Regiment of Renown pool? Nothing. Okay. So the only thing we might potentially want to do is trade out some of these nasty skulkers maybe for troops from Rachnik's army. Nah, his stuff's still all healing. Yeah, let's just roll like this. We could do it with this army, I think. I sure hope. Because if we try this and fail it, it's not going to be a big deal in the sense that, like, it's not going to cause this army to come after us and steal our settlements or anything. But I will be a little disappointed that I lost a whole big important army. Alright, so the reinforcements that we expect to see are just mortars. And I mean, I say just mortars, but 3 extra units of mortars is certainly a bad time for us. And this army doesn't really have cavalry, so we're going to be pretty reliant on Waaagh himself and the nasty skulkers to make sure that we can take care of that stuff. And I mean, the trolls are remarkably fast for the kind of troops that they are, so they can probably handle it as well. This is where the Slaughterer's name was first screamed in terror by the wretches of the Empire. To earn that title, Waaagh must fight. The war boss will face 2 armies of Humies, and will even confront a deadly steam tank. Oh, so we are not being shown all of the reinforcements then, huh? Should he be victorious, he will be etched into the bloody history of the Empire. So wait, is this a time travel battle? Are we, like, reliving a moment from history here? I don't want to fight a steam tank. That sounds terrible.
At last, a chance to try a full outflanking maneuver. A grand strategy wasted on the fleeing humans and these brainless green-skinned creatures. Shut it, Isla. I don't need your poncy tactics. Listen up, boys. They're starting calling me the Slaughterer. I like that name. Let's not disappoint them. I said shut up. We'll go south later. I got some business here first.
This battlefield speech is just... It's a dumb idea, it never works, it's not cool, and it doesn't help that he's borderline incomprehensible, but for some reason his speech doesn't get subtitles like everybody else's does. Because we've done a lot of these campaigns by now. Usually they have subtitles. Okay, I said we don't have any cavalry. I totally forgot about our pump wagon, which is actually really good at its job. This is going to be a little awkward with all the water. It's definitely going to reduce our charge speed, but let's set the pump wagon up over here with the intention of having it just charge over there, which I presume is where the mortar detachment is going to show up. Or, yeah, because this is the 4 siege units that they start with. And I guess their whole deal is up there. It's pretty bad for us, actually. So we want to set our... Oh, that's right! I have Vanguard deployment on so many of my units now. Yeah, we're definitely, like, just starting most of our stuff right here, right? We'll just have at them. Unfortunately, we can't do that with the Black Orcs, who would be most effective in this situation. They'll just have to be close and ready to run, and I guess the Trolls and Giants are kind of in the same boat. And then, unfortunately, neither of you guys get to Vanguard deploy either, which is a real shame. And where do we want the Catapult crew to be? I'm going to put the Catapult crew over here as well. We don't know where enemy reinforcements will come from, should there be significant enemy reinforcements beyond what we've already seen, so it's a little hard to plan around that. And do we want the Skulkers to be... Yeah, I think so, because we want the sneaky troops to be up here so they can push those guys or just flank around. I love this thing, though. This is going to be helpful. Alright. So, how do we... Is there anything really fancy to try to do here? I don't know. Honestly, I think we'll probably just run at them as hard as possible. It's a classic for a reason, you know? So let's start by having all of the ranged troops focus solely on Outriders, because Outriders have given us some real fits here. And then I think Waaagh just charges right in. I don't think there's any reason for him to do anything else. Have you press the button as well, and then also just run up into the trees. Don't charge necessarily directly into battle, although I guess you're on Boarback now, right? Well, no, what kind of charge bonus does he have? He has 70 charge bonus on Boarback. He's actually he's a much better melee fighter than he used to be. Okay, you know what? Never mind that thing. You're both sort of casters and sort of cavalry units. It's a fun thing though. It's cool to have units that have multiple purposes like that. You guys do all this stuff. You guys, I don't know, just get over here. We'll figure it out later. Let's do the thing. And the catapult should basically just shoot at whoever it can shoot at, but it looks like actually it needs to roll forward a little bit first. Now they have more melee than it looks like they have, because remember the trees are creating an obscuring effect. We cannot cleanly see all of their stuff at all times. But I'm not going to stress too much about it. We'll run our troops up here. We'll figure it out once we're in the trees. Speaking of in the trees, since we know so many of them are in these trees... Get him. Wow, yeah, that's doing alright. Archers will not be able to get clear. Well, that actually did a huge amount of damage. Look at all the health. Look at all the health that's missing. Waaagh is actually quite terrifying. Okay, so here comes our boar wizard. We're gonna have him put down the big foot. We're gonna have him put his foot down. That would have been the clever way to say that. So we haven't actually gotten to see the foot of Gork yet. There you go. That's what it looks like when you really commit. Hold on a second. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Did you forget your orders? Get in there, you big idiot. Okay, so this looks like it's going pretty well for us. We've joined up. The enemies are just not well suited to fighting the kinds of troops that we have here, and they really aren't well suited to me being able to start the battle directly on top of their faces, which feels very unfair. It's my favorite kind of unfair. Unfair in my favor. So yeah, I guess just keep fighting these sword dudes for the moment. I'm just going to make sure everybody has sensible orders here, so we don't have units like tiring themselves out doing nothing of value. And all we can see over here is these crews, which is not a big surprise. I kind of wonder if that thing about the steam tank is from whatever the original version of this battle is, and maybe this battle might have been rebuilt when the update happened. Because I've never played Waagh's campaign before. I don't know if it was the case that this is different now or anything. There we go. Waaagh remembered what he was supposed to be doing. Just crawling around and chomping dudes. Nope, okay, here comes the tank. How about here comes the tank? I mean, in theory, somewhere there's a tank. Oh, also, I didn't actually give the really powerful orcs the move forward order. Okay, a steam tank is not a joke, by the way. We've not yet had to fight one, so if you're not very familiar with the game, you might not understand the danger that we now find ourselves in. But steam tanks are bad news, dude. You guys get up here and fight those dudes. Let's have some of our boys turn around. You stay on that lord. You guys push up. Try not to let them... Yeah, our wizard is totally kicking ass, which is awesome. I love a guy, like I said, I love a guy who can fulfill many battlefield roles. So let's have the crossbowmen stay, or the melee troops stay on the crossbowmen, and we'll have Waaagh continue to apply pressure over here. I love Waaagh on Wyvern back. He is super cool. Very fun to use. Okay. They're firing, but hopefully that'll be dealt with soon enough. Do I want to just throw out a Brain Burster real quick? How much does it cost to overcast it? Only 8? We might be able to soften the remaining force over here up pretty quickly. Let's do it like that. And we'll have Waaagh aim at these guys instead. Is he faster than Outriders on his thing? He has 116 speed, actually. So yeah, he's faster than everybody. Granted, that's flying speed. I'm sure it creeps along the ground at a lower movement speed. Alright, so they're all trying to retreat to the steam tank. Their plan is get the steam tank and let it save us. And it's not a bad plan, to be clear. I think that's probably the right move on their part. That said, we have so many people and so much of a numerical advantage that it's hard to imagine. I gotta make sure we're committing everybody up here. Let's get archers up there. We do have a unit of trolls killing Emil the Orcbane. I was gonna say something snarky about that not being his name anymore after the end of this battle, but he's gonna be dead, so who cares? Try to stay on that wizard. Don't let that wizard recover. He's got a lot of health. He could totally, I could totally see him getting out of the battle and then recovering his leadership. This is maybe not the best use of a giant's time, but this giant is not going to be of any value against the steam tank, I don't think. And that's really the only threat that remains. Okay, a bunch of them are giving up permanently. Yep, a bunch of them permanently broke. Great news. One more thing real quick. Let's just make sure we're doing this right. How are you guys doing over here? You know what? Stay on them. We're just now getting over to the mortar crews. Skulkers are faster than a lot of our units, but fast is relative. Okay, your job is to shoot at a steam tank now. So, steam tanks, as you might imagine, very, very heavily armored. They have a great big old cannon on the front. They shoot steam. They're steam powered, and then they vent the steam at you. So melee troops often have a big problem with that. I think we probably want the Black Orcs to charge this thing. I know that might seem like not a great idea, but we need some significant armor piercing. And I think we're going to have Waaagh charge it as well. He can lower its melee defense, and it's going to be... It might end up being a little bit harsh. This might be tough. But we certainly don't need to chase all those dudes anymore. So the rest of you guys form up over here. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with you all. Yep, there's that steam venting going on. You know what? This is good from a... I'm gonna have him back up a little bit, and we're gonna shoot the Gaze of Nagash at this thing once we get back into the air. We've at least distracted it. You're not gonna be able to actually deal a lot of damage to it, but you know, we gotta start stacking it up somehow. Gaze of Nagash. So it's not super fast. Part of my plan here is to keep drawing it toward people, getting its attention on people, and then distracting it and running away. Can we... I'm gonna give Waaagh the Fists of Gork. He's gonna be the war boss who killed a steam tank. There's a lot of spell effects and garbage going on here. It's hard to tell exactly what's happening. Yeah, come back here, let's do some of this. Okay, actually, I'm totally beating this thing's ass. I'm a little surprised by that, to be perfectly honest with you. Steam tanks have significant physical damage reduction, usually. It looks like this one, mousing over it, this one doesn't have the ward save icon at the bottom of it. Maybe steam tanks got toned down a little bit? Well, whatever. Waagh's gonna have some very serious burns, but we totally got it. And then the only reason the battle's not over yet is there's something over here. There, okay. You can see how this one dot is red on the map instead of white. I thought it was trying to tell me that they had not surrendered yet, but I guess we were just waiting. Okay, that turned out not being all that bad. The steam tank was less impressive than I remember steam tanks being. It might just be the case that at this point, Waaagh is such an incredible combat monster that it doesn't matter what we put him up against, as long as he can fight it 1v1. And that's definitely not true. There are still certainly legendary lords whose whole thing is single combat, who would probably beat Waaagh up, but he does have the Wyvern. So he can run away from those guys. Why bother even fighting them? So now that was not the final quest. Or that was not the final step in that quest line, right? The legendary weapon itself was not a reward from that. So presumably, that's just gearing up toward a more intense battle that is yet to come. 433 kills on Waaagh. I wonder how much of that was the Black Sun that we cast at the beginning of the fight. We can definitely just take the money here. Or you know what, let's take the leadership boost. I don't remember when the last time we refreshed our leadership buff was, and we certainly don't need the money that much right now. Go and raid the Moot. That's a little inconvenient. Whilst raiding their way southwards, Waagh's boys are merciless as they ravage and plunder the land. Many of them continue to note marked changes in Waaagh. He uses un-orcish words, goes into trances, mumbles to himself constantly, and often tries to explain orders instead of simply cracking skulls and bellowing. The horror. But, again, the hordes forgive such peculiarities as the victories and loot stack up. All in the name of the Slaughterer. And it looks like that battle gave us... Yep, that battle gave us exactly enough reputation. We can call our Waaagh right now. Well, let's do it, man. So, what do you get for calling a Waaagh on Skaven? We didn't see that before. Ooh, growth and casualty replenishment. So a thing you totally want to do really early on. Up here we could see, if we were to declare it on the Norskins, armor and untainted corruption. That's cool. What about charge and obedience for humans? To be perfectly honest with you, that's not so bad. At this point, we have armies that are way more capable of making use of the charge bonus. So the amount, the number is based on their strength level, right? If I click here, does it show me... Yeah, here we go. Oh, I see. The faction strength rank thing scales with the number of factions that are left in the game or something. At this point, we would have to fight a faction that is ranked above 30 to get a bigger trophy. So that means that Wolfenburg is no longer an especially valuable target, and we could just go after the Skaven if we wanted. We don't need the growth as badly as we once did, though. And we definitely do still want to finish off Ostland, so I think we might call it on Ostland. We'll see if we can route around Reichland's lands, and if we can't, then we'll just kill Reichland. It's fine. I devote this victory to Gork. Okay. We know what the plan is. So we get Waaagh following armies on both of our existing armies now. It's even better than it used to be, and it used to be pretty damn good back when we just had the one force. So we want to try to get back down, like, to here. Yeah, run through that way. And then what are we going to do with Rachnik? I suppose this is the time when Rachnik should start. For now, we'll just have him, like, move into a sort of a supporting, following kind of position. But this is really the time when Rachnik should maybe consider going southward. Right, since he's going to be a 40-unit army and everything. And then we still have a hell of a lot of money. Yeah, definitely get the proper defenses up at Mordheim. Definitely upgrade this. What else do we want at Beckhafen? You know what? We probably want a bigger garrison building, like, immediately. And then let's also continue to push growth and obedience, I think. Oh, and the boss's shack gives a little bit of untainted. That's nice. And we'll get this so that we have a nice forward recruiting spot for Biggins. Somebody still has to resettle Jakova because we could use the iron. Okay, I think that that's basically all of the things of value we can do here. Gouger needs to continue to make his way toward Castle Carcassonne. We'll cross the river near Marienburg and then make our way through the mountains over here somewhere. And Grutter, boy, I don't know what to do with you. I think we need to get you into the area of Ostland. Like, Wolfenburg has a gold mine, right? If we can get Wolfenburg and then we can get the gold mine down south of us in the mountains, that'll be a good start on being able to afford a third army. Basically, everything about your economic development in this game is focused on when can I afford another stack of troops. There's not a lot else to buy, you know? It's not a very complicated game, economically speaking. Oh, some kind of big battle just happened there. Unfortunately, it happened just outside of my vision. Is Clan Mulder at war with Reichland? I think they are. He probably wants a military alliance, and he wants me to join in his war against the Norskins. No, thank you. You can you can work on that on your own. I believe in you. We might come to his aid eventually. But for right now, we have a thing to focus on. I want that mine. All right. So you have almost everything that you could possibly need. I guess let's get Headbutt. Doesn't seem very good. Let's finish off. Here we go. Sorry, we have this to do. I'm not very excited about Headbutt. I don't know that we'll use it very much. Yeah, just keep running this way. We have, yes, we do have military access from the vampires, so when we push through here, they won't get mad at us. I'm going to have you... I think I am going to have Rachnik just go south, use his extra troops to try to claim the other gold mine down there, rather than having him reinforce. Okay, so here's Heinrich Kemmler. Great big group of vampires over here in the mountains. We should try to make friends with them. Okay, they're way into a non-aggression pact, and they would like to give us military access as well. It looks like, given the fact that our likelihood of success on this is high... Oh, no, sorry, not offer. Demand. Hey, you, would you like to give me some money? We'll pull that number down until it says likelihood of success medium, and then we'll see if we can't just wring a little cash out of them. Moderate, I'll take it. He would go 900. I would like to counter-offer. I still want military access. How about that? Okay. Well, that will be a nice big reputation boost with him. Alright, I don't know that Heinrich Kemmler is necessarily going to amount to anything in the world. It does seem like he's got a reasonable military force, but is he on one settlement? He is on one settlement. Who knows? Maybe he'll survive, maybe he won't. You just need to get over here. I want eyes on whatever's going on north of these mountains. We need to know if Ostland has any reinforcement armies in the area. Okay. We don't actually have, like, any income at all right now, which is a little sad. At some point, we need to, like, recruit a couple more units for Rachnik Spiderclaw's army, because he's running around with 18, but I don't know how we're going to afford them. Well, I mean, I guess I do. Gold mine. Probably Wolfenburg will be worth a lot of money when we sack it. And there are an awful lot of Reichland armies, but most of them are very far away from us. Oh, I think the vampires just burned down that dwarf hold in the mountains over there. Just to the southeast of Blackstone. That's good. We're picking allies who are doing well. I'm a little baffled as to Ostlin's plan there. Did you see that army go into ambush mode 10 feet from the Skaven and vampire armies? What do they think is going to happen? We might be able to reveal that guy. Mission issued, recruit a lord. Nah, it seems unlikely. I guess actually, we're close enough to him that if we were going to see through his ambush, it would have happened already. Let's just keep an eye on Norden up here. Okay, so he does have an army up there. That's good to know. What does my Waaagh look like? What's following me at this point? Okay, a bunch of trolls. A whole lot of archers, some of which are not very good units, but three groups of trolls is nice. So what's going to be the best way to access Wolfenburg? He thinks the shortest path is over the bridge to the north. Guess I'll take his word for it. Also, it'll be nice to hang out with the vampires. The vampire armies are doing quite well here. Okay, as far as he can. I want to support Manfred von Karstein. Manfred von Karstein is a good example of one of those combat monster lords who could probably still totally hand Ozhag his ass. We would not want to get in a fight with that guy. Fortunately, there's basically no chance that will ever happen. We're the best of friends. Okay, let's get eyes on Bretonnia. So it looks like most of the little Bretonnian nations are still alive and doing basically fine for themselves. Also, Blackstone Post, I don't know if the vampires burned it down or not, but they certainly didn't have the wherewithal to grab it. Another orc faction over there. An orc faction who doesn't much care for the Barrow Legion. I think we're gonna prefer the company of vampires to the company of orcs here, just because I think it'll make the campaign a little bit more interesting. We are fully on Team Undead Guy. You know, obviously, it'd be nice to be friends with both, but in any place where we're pulled in one direction or the other, we're siding with the zombies. It's interesting that these areas just swapped hands. Like, the vampires have Castle von Rocken, but the humans took the southern settlement from them. The armies chasing each other in circles. That Ostland army, I guess we lost vision of them. They were ambush mode, like, right there, so we have no idea if they came out of ambush mode and moved around or not. We'll have our scouts do a little scouting. Okay, do we want war fervor or obedience? I think this is a war fervor kind of moment. Give me all that leadership. Let's move around here. Can we... There they are. Philip von Sigurd and Ben Gladscheiser. Apparently, there's like 30 units worth of dudes over here. They're suffering from attrition. We can see that they're not at full health. Is this Vampire Region attrition, maybe? I'm not sure what they're suffering from. Yeah, okay. Ozhag's army is immune to it, remember. Wait, is that a trait we have yet to pick up, or do we have that already? I don't remember. Slaughterer, it's not from that. I thought we had picked up a trait that made us immune to vampiric corruption on account of Ozhag being a vampire friend. A friend of vampires. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Is it a piece of equipment? Yes, okay. It's from the Crown of Sorcery. So, I am at war with these guys. We have to be a little bit careful how we approach here, because obviously we don't want them to just turn around and hurl their entire force against me. We might win, but we wouldn't necessarily come out of it in a shape to continue pressing Wolfenburg. It looks like the edge of my movement range is just barely in range of Castle von Rocken. I can move to right here, and because we are defensive allies with the vampires, if the Ostlanders turn around and attack me, Castle von Rocken's garrison will ride out to help. But that could be fun. It's neat to have cross-faction ally battles. Okay, Bordelot's doing just fine. We've seen someone from Carcassonne, or maybe it's just because we can see a tiny bit of their land. We're very close. Next turn, he will be in that place. Let's go ahead and grab Fort Jakova, because otherwise the vampires are going to do it. So you can see a bunch of the men in the army leave to become the citizens of Fort Jakova. So resettling an empty area has a significant cost. Melee attack and charge bonus up for squig units in this army. That's interesting. We'll totally work on that at some point. Let's grab... Honestly, I don't know if we're even going to take Sneaky Stealin'. It doesn't seem all that good as far as these casting traits go. Grab Gork'll Fix It, because it's only one skill point to max it out, and then we'll finish off Vindictive Glare. Obviously, as we move him up toward Arcane Conduit. I'm a huge believer that Arcane Conduit is like one of the most important things you could possibly have. Really got to prioritize that highly. Alright, remember, the vampires have their turn before the Ostlanders do, so I'm a little curious what Manfred's army is going to do here. It's potentially the case that he will ride out and just devour Philip von Sigurd. Oh, or maybe Reichlanders will come out of nowhere and make things way more complicated for us. That's not ideal. But remember, we're not technically at war with Reichland right now. And it may not be to our benefit to start being at war with Reichland. We might want to just ignore that for the moment and try to go get that gold mine. We're going to have to fight him, and we're going to have to fight him probably relatively soon. But I'm not there just yet. Alright, some elves are doing elf magic stuff with their goofy elf swords. This is my caring face, what you are seeing right now. Oh, Wolfenburg has a big garrison, but it has no defenders. I'm pretty happy about that. We'll just raid the hell out of it for the moment. And you should follow and harass. Yeah, actually, hold on. Can we hinder replenishment on the bigger army? Yeah, let's do that. Remember, these guys are injured, so that's a shame. That would have been nice for that for that to have worked. Those guys are injured, so hindering their replenishment would actually have been meaningful. What do we want from you? I guess start working on... I think Vindictive Glare is better than Gork'll Fix It. We didn't prioritize them that way on Rachnik, because we know he's going to get both of them anyway, but I'm assuming you guys can't reach me. Yeah, even in full march mode, they don't have the speed to get to me before I take Wolfenburg next turn. Well, that's good news. Alright, so you need to cross the bridge, and... This is Brion. Castle Carcassonne is still a little bit further south. We've encountered the Dreadfleet, which is a faction of vampire pirates. They're not exactly the same as normal vampires, and I don't know... No, we do not get our free diplomatic points with them. Oh well. That's alright. We have more friends than orcs are used to having already. Absolutely get Sharon as Karen. This is like one of the most powerful skills I've ever seen. Or text, rather, I guess. Very happy to have it. Okay, we can grab... We have enough scrap now to grab an upgrade on our rock... Keep mousing a little bit to the side here. May as well grab the winged ammo. This is just plus range. Yeah, I mean, if it's going to let me take it, let's take it. It seemed like, despite the fact that one of the upgrades was disabled, it seemed like we weren't getting the benefit from it earlier, so we may as well have something. Alright, and then you guys are just headed south, right? What we want more than anything is to end up over here. I'm putting a lot of faith in Azhag the Slaughterer army right now, but I think it's warranted, right? Okay, so a couple more trolls. It's basically like a pretty bad Waaagh, though. I wonder why we're not seeing more powerful stuff in his force. I assumed that the initial Waaagh was weak because our tech level was low, but our tech level's a lot better now. And part of his faction thing is supposed to be that wyverns are capable of showing up in the Waaagh, so I'm not sure. I wonder what it is we're doing wrong. Maybe you get better Waaagh recruits if you have your army hang out in your own territory for a little bit more while you're setting up. To try to reduce the power of basically the strategy that we're doing here, which is you start the Waaagh and immediately rush an enemy settlement. But our Waaagh army is going to probably, if not cap out, at least get close to capping out this turn, and then we're going to smash Wolfenburg, and then Ostland's going to be left with a single... They have a bunch of armies, but they're going to be left with a single small settlement. Oleg Troll Eater is raiding within... Okay. Picking up valuable traits, and we got ourselves, yep, even more garbage units. It's fine. So we're just going to take Wolfenburg, right? There's no two ways about that. You can run over here and refresh... No, wait, sorry. I want to do his ability on the settlement. We probably need to refresh our technology buff, right? Oh, hey, look at that. He's getting even better at it. So let's do everything else this turn first, because we know that battle's gonna be big. It's going to take up a bunch of our time here. Okay, we did it, hooray. So in the following battle with Ozhag's army to get the armor, word has come back from Ozhag's sneak thief scout. Down in Bretonia, those stupid Humies prance about on their ponies on the burial mound of Grudznik. No wonder the gods ain't happy. That's hallowed ground. Yes, we believe very strongly in such things. Alright, so we will earn our armor by doing this. 15% physical resistance, an additional 15% missile. Man, that's not bad armor. Big buff to the toughness of allies nearby. And so these men-at-arms with polearms, you can see they're 22 melee attack, not exactly terrifying dudes. These peasant bowmen are very, very killable. They got a bunch of units of field trebuchets, which are, they're just big catapults. There's nothing to be afraid of. I assume the real difficulty of this battle comes from the reinforcements. Because Bretonia definitely does have some real, actual, scary units. Now we begin the long process of him running home. Let's get that rebuilt so that we can actually make some use of it. And I guess that's really it for things to do other than taking out Wolfenburg. So let's get down to it. I'm kind of tempted to just take the auto-resolve here. Not that I think it will necessarily give us a better result than our normal one, but we've already kind of seen how this battle plays out. And our units have enough replenishment rate that I don't think it'll be a problem. Okay, sack it. We will definitely have the movement necessary to occupy after the sack there. We started the turn quite close to it. But yeah, that was a lot of money. we can't not take that. Oh hey, and we've gotten Ozhag up to 30, and we've unlocked the remainder of the Regiments of Renown. I mean, Ozhag's army probably doesn't need the strength. Like, we don't need to put those big flashy units in here, but I might anyway, because we're about to have to fight some quest battles, and obviously, the cleaner we can come out of those, the better. We might, like, replace 2 of our units of Nasty Skulkers with just the big monsters, and have this be the big monster army. That's probably going to happen. Alright, let's repair this, and repair the gold mine. Yeah, all these repairs are expensive, but we definitely still profited immensely from doing that thing we did. Alright, we're certainly going to want defenses here, and then I think we have a legitimate question of what else we want in this this settlement. Raiden stashes right away could be real good. The extra movement range would be nice. The other thing I was thinking is we could put up some recruitment buildings so that we can rebuild our force more quickly. But you know what? Let's take the Raiden stashes. All right, and we netted roughly 50,000 gold after all of that spending. Coffin needs to grow more. We also need to push this. We probably don't need to push the growth building any further. And what else do we... hey, we finally capped out over here. So, what do we even have that requires level 5? Do we really only have one building in our whole faction that benefits from a level 5 settlement? That's weird. Well, that's how you make your rogue idols, so I guess we should probably think about doing that. We already have one of these going here, right? Oh yeah, okay, there. We're only 5 turns away from being able to normally recruit rogue idols, which is very exciting. So man, what do we want to do with these slots in this settlement? I guess we may as well put up a shaman thing. I don't know what else we would do here. Oh, you know what? It doesn't have the pile of shiny stuff. That's a thing we could do here. That would be pretty alright. And then we could just build Raiden Stash here too. I don't think the campaign movement range bonus is going to be terribly meaningful, but just the income boosts. Yeah, that's probably right. It's arguable that we should build a what do you call it? an obedience building. I guess if we were going to do that, we would pull the defenses in Karak-Raziak, which probably doesn't need them anymore. Yeah, it's pretty far from the front. I think I'm going to do that. We'll build that there. Because it would be nice to be positive on obedience in our home province, even when we're not gaining all of the benefits of being in a Waaagh. And then down here, we have kind of a similar question. I mean, we may as well build one of these. And this at least gives us extra research rate, although to be perfectly honest with you, at this point, I'm not worried about not being able to... I am not worried about not being able to finish our tech tree. Like, that is absolutely already guaranteed to happen. So, I don't know what else we want to build here. I guess that's the only building that does anything, though, right? Like, the troll buildings just give you, yeah, extra recruit rank for trolls that are recruited in this area, which really doesn't matter very much. There's not anything else to do that would give us any meaningful benefit. Okay, then I think we're good for now. I guess we should finish walling up Kislev. We are likely to be able to hold on to this now, and probably still don't want to turn that on. Not yet. Okay, I think we're going to be back at full health here. The Waaagh army is going to take a little bit longer, but that's fine. Hard to imagine Ostland managing to get back Wolfenburg before the end of the Waaagh. I guess the way that we're most likely to lose Wolfenburg and thus not get our Waaagh trophy is Reichland turning on us and taking it from us. Which is not impossible, actually. One thing we could do while we're just kind of sitting here waiting for the Waaagh stack to replenish is we could go teleport to that quest battle. Right, because the Waaagh army doesn't get to participate in that anyway, so they can't take any more damage there. Oh, well, there goes there goes the Barrow Legion. That was quick. Like, almost immediately after we met them. We do, of course, have to be wary of these guys coming back around, but they shouldn't be able to reach Wolfenburg this next turn anyway, and it looks like they might lose Norden to other forces. Yeah, I'm not stressed about them, honestly. I think this is probably under control. Alright, so Karak Ungor, let's push this stuff. Let's get one of these built. Has his army recruited any more interesting stuff? No, not really. Yeah, I mean, there must be something we could do to recruit fancier Waaagh troops. It might be the case that that if you Waaagh against an enemy that is higher on the global strength chart, you get better units for it. Alright, I think, like I said, we're going to kick 2 of these units out. We're just going to go hardcore, big, terrifying monsters, and let's bang out a quest battle here. I'm pretty excited about getting to use the Rogue Idol. This will be the first I'm seeing of it. So they are going to have Mounted Yeomen run in. I mean, that's not... Really? This is the quest battle? This doesn't seem right. Didn't we get this quest after the one that we just did? In theory, this should expect you to be a higher level and more developed. I guess we're gonna get flanked and stuff? That hill, Grudstick's Bound, is the key, and the Humies are camped on it. But these Humies like their nags. No doubt they're behind the hill, ready to flank Aushag's force. I mean, it's not like they're ready to flank me with good units or anything. And to be perfectly honest, I think there's a reasonable chance that Orc Era Boys could just take that charge and then kill the guys on horseback.
Flouncy humans think they can trounce all over our sacred ground. That burial mound is Mork's property.
That burial mound is pretty cool. Alright, that's, you know what, that's enough of this, I actually can't fast forward it looks like. So let's have a quick look at our fancy new units. First of all, the Arachnarok. Check this out. Look at the size of it. In case you were wondering, what kind of spider exactly are we talking about? It's this kind of spider. It has a bunch of guys on the back of it with poison projectile weapons. He is actually still talking. Who decided that this was okay? That like a quest battle should start with a 75-second long, incomprehensible speech. Very strange, very strange. Okay, so this thing can summon spider hatchlings too. We're a very spider hatchling heavy force. What else does it have going for it? We have that, of course. It causes terror, causes fear, no big surprise. Poison attacks, poison missile attacks, bonus versus large, so it's actually especially good at eating horses. Very unfortunate for the Bretonnians. And then this thing is 100% new to me. Look at him. Man, Creative Assembly really knows how to make a thing look big and impressive. So what's his deal? He has these traits. Rebel and Ruin 1. While his hit points are lower than 75%, he has this bombardment thing. Oh, so wait, maybe it's exactly when he hits 75%. This is disabled until he hits 75%, and then it has one charge. Just immediately goes off and does a bunch of damage around him, so you kind of want these guys separated from the rest of your force. He constantly replenishes ammunition, but is also causing damage to himself. I didn't even realize he has 10 missile attacks. I wonder what he does exactly. I mean, it's probably magical. Also, he is giving +4 leadership map-wide until he gets low on health. That's pretty big. Seems like a great guy. Okay, so he has a special ranged weapon, and I'm eager to see it in action. That is a lot of horses, I'll give him that. And then they have a deployment area over here that they've just chosen not to use for some reason. Alright, so Spider and Rogue Idol definitely over here. We will have to protect the catapult just a little bit, and I do mean just a little bit. I'm actually not going to have the catapult move to face the horses, though. We're going to make sure we're focused on the enemy melee, the enemy infantry, rather. We will leave some Orc Biggins right here to play defense. I mean, probably more like this. Or the enemy's going to come in from this side. And then the rest of our Orc Biggins are just going to start as close to the enemy horses as possible. Maybe on this side, because these guys have this push covered already. I'm not really sure where we want to put our nasty skulkers. I'm assuming I can't start up here. Yeah, their deployment zone goes all the way to the corner. I'm going to start them, like, over here. Is this... Oh, they have to be outside the white area. Yeah, we want the enemy to engage and then the skulkers to end up all up in the trebuchets, right? This is a really weirdly designed deployment area. Guys over here. A bunch of archers. I mean, archers are good against horses. Obviously, we don't want the archers in a super easy to charge position. Do this thing and get you guys in the middle. Bit of defense. And then, like, you guys should be fine to fight. Trolls should absolutely be good to just fight cavalry. It doesn't need to be terribly complicated from here. Alright, let's do it. Let's issue these initial orders. I don't really know exactly what my play is with these guys. I mean, we just charge them, right? I don't know that there's a huge amount of tricky strategy to apply. Let's have him do whatever his special ranged attack is first. You just run in and get in a fight. You guys... Honestly, go that way, maybe? Maybe we don't need the Black Orcs to press the cavalry at all. You guys try to get up there and be sneaky. Ozhag just runs at somebody. Don't need to be terribly strategical about that one. We do want to keep the caster a little bit sheltered, so we'll have him be have him stay near the rock thrower. And you. Alright. Is it giant rock throwing? Because I think it's probably giant rock throwing. He's like a Cyclops, right? This is what the Cygors do when you use their attack. They just throw a big rock at people. Oh, he like pulls a piece out of himself. And he throws it in a very direct fashion. There's no arc on that at all. Alright, well, obviously the giant's going to be a big problem for them. We are going to see them trying some stuff at least a little bit here. It doesn't look like they have any interest at all in attacking the siege units, so we'll just run right at them. No reason to apply strategy. Lord is in here mixing it up. Try to get on those guys. It looks like they need a little bit of help over there. And in fact, let's give them that help in this way. Okay, they can absolutely see my units. No reason to keep up the facade, then. Is this... Oh, did they have 4 trebuchets? I thought they only had 3. Okay. Yeah, go get them. Is anybody not really applying? These guys, I think, are actually going to attempt to go around and get the siege troops, maybe. Why don't we have the archers do that thing? Giants on this. You know what? You can just roll into battle. That's fine. Let's have Rockman do this thing. Okay, so I can hit the button to have him do that. He's not constantly replenishing ammunition at the cost of health. I have to manually order that. And I think we can probably have Ozhag just get over here. Yeah, these mounted yeomen, they're not super powerful units, and they're also just random. They're like peasants that have been pressed into military service. They don't have a level of military discipline. That big rock throw was a little bit less impressive than I was hoping it was going to be. Now, it is worth noting that these are men-at-arms with pole arms. They're not totally trivial to attack with a large unit. Large units will definitely suffer a little bit. They started moving. I was really hoping we were going to be able to just fire at them while they were standing still. Alright, well, let's try to lead them a little bit. It takes 5 seconds for the cast to go off. That was a pretty good lead. Where's this guy? Is he still fighting? Yeah, he's still just fighting random dudes. He's probably good to come and join the battle. Somehow the Arachnarok made it all the way over here already. Let's do some of this. How far away can you summon the spiders? Not very. Alright, give me some spiders real quick while you're on your way over there. So we could use them on this front. As soon as the Ozhag Wyvern shows up, it seems like these enemies just completely surrender. Like I said, they don't have that discipline. Our units are just too scary. They can't really stand against us. Guys, get over here and grab that other field trebuchet unit that we haven't killed yet. Yep. Wavering the second combat is actually joined. Get over there. It looks like the whole yeoman cavalry force has been run off. Let's just get some dudes. Why can I not select you? There we go. Let's get some dudes in here. I guess we may as well Waaagh. You know what? Let's put this guy in melee mode. I want to see him run up on somebody. You guys also run in. Catapult's just doing its catapult thing. You lot, get over here. It does feel a little silly to have your wizard on horseback charging enemy polearm troops, but it's working, right? You can't deny that it is actually functional, at least in this case. Pump wagon's doing fine work. Where's my rogue idol? It is not very quick. It seems to be roughly about 1 giant in speed. I really want to see him hit somebody. Even if we get the win here, even if they give up, we are not going to stop fighting until we have seen the rogue idol beat up on somebody a little bit. Yeah, man, really good animations. Just a super cool unit. A little too slow for the thing we're trying to use him for. Super fast forward mode. Even in super fast forward mode, he's pretty slow. Also, game took us out of fast forward for some reason. He's actually not going to reach those guys. He's too slow to keep up with fleeing units, it looks like. Alright, well, next time. Next time we'll try to use him in a more melee infantry smashing kind of way. Because I am curious exactly how killy he is in melee combat. Really good work from the units of Skulkers that remained. The pump wagon seems pretty good, actually. For how early you can recruit it, it seems quite powerful, and it's not taking a lot of damage. Like, obviously, we're having it charge units that are basically defenseless, but we're fighting against enemies who still have, like, their own archers and stuff. They could be turning around and having at it. It's hard to know exactly how much fire it's sustaining, because I'm not paying attention. And also, we did give it the bonus armor. But still, it seems like a very, very strong unit. We got to keep an eye on which of our low-tier units are performing well, because at our current income level, when we do put a third army together, we're going to have to be pretty careful with it. We're not going to be able to just have it be whatever awesome units we want. Wow, that is very little money. I guess I'll replenish my leadership buff? It's like basically no money and very little replenishment from taking the replenish option. So we got ourselves some fancy legendary armor. I like that quite a bit. And then we probably will just go back into Wolfenburg for the extra replenishment. Kind of push the Waaagh army up here. And we've got our Darkest Nimbus. So first of all, regeneration for Waaagh himself. Secondly, one bound cast of probably the most powerful direct damage spell in the game. I'm a big, big fan of Wind of Death. That said, this is normal Wind of Death, not overcasted, it looks like. The overcasting is a lot of the power on that thing. We'll see how good it feels. My suspicion is I will still be pretty happy with it. Alright, so do we want Headbutt right now? I think I'm going to grab Missile Resistance on him real quick. Since he's on a mount and everything, he's kind of a big target. Let's make sure he doesn't get sniped by archers. Then Gouger's just on his way back. At this point, we can just have Gouger sort of plan his own route. Moving? I'm not getting an arrow. Yeah, okay. There is another greenskin force over here. How are they doing? I haven't met them, so we can't contact them in the diplomacy menu. But it looks like they don't even have their own home province under control, which is a pretty bad sign. So let's try to keep an eye on what these armies are doing over here. Where did the did both of the Ostland armies get eliminated by Skaven? Oh, well, that bodes very ill for them. I think they are about to be eliminated from the game. Like, when we hit this button here, they might immediately get eliminated from the game. I would have liked to Waaagh against a powerful enemy, it's just we didn't have a powerful enemy who was, whose capital was actually close enough that we could get to it in 20 turns. Oh, that'll be Grimgor Ironhide's Waaagh failing over there on the right. Based on the timing. That's a little embarrassing for him. I wonder if he, like, Waagh'd against the main dwarf faction? Yep, there goes Norden. It looked like it was burned to the ground, but I think that happened during the Skaven turn, so it might just be a Skaven settlement now. No, that's okay. I don't feel like I need a non-aggression pact from you. So what we really would like is a Waaagh trophy that was a little bit more combat-focused at this point. We certainly don't need... all this infrastructure type stuff. So we're not getting any replenishment from them in the settlement at all? Okay, Norden was taken by the Varg. That's a little annoying, because it means this province is really hard for us to unite. And then there's nothing over here to fight except for these guys. We might be declaring war on Reichland next turn. Well, maybe not next turn, but soon. In the very near future. Because Zavastra and Castle von Rocken are both part of provinces that I would like to complete. We need to figure out, could you figure out if there are armies over here? Where did the Reichland army that used to be over here go? That's a big question for us. It's like, we definitely don't want to just sit around. We want to take advantage of this force. So we're supposed to raid the Moot, right? That's a little bit inconvenient. Does it have to be Waagh's army? Did it say? It just says raid the following region, so I guess it could be anybody. First of all, we're talking about raiding friendly territory there, which sucks, and they will not like that. But secondly, it's just very inconvenient. It's like way out of my way. Alright, we know what you're doing. Actually, would it be faster to underway move here in the mountains? Where's his underway movement end? No, it would not be. Very much the opposite, in fact. Well, keep running. Has your Waaagh come together in any more impressive way? Nope. Pretty bad, actually. Pretty bad force. Actually, that's not the highest priority. Hold on. Upgrading stuff closer to the front over here is a higher priority. Let's build a basic growth building, just try to finish this province off as quickly as possible. And we couldn't attack Castle von Rocken now. We might be able to go over here, snatch up Ehrengrad. We need a little bit more scouting, but I'm going to move in that direction. We might be able to just go snatch Ehrengrad, and I think that would be pretty great for us. Let's go into march mode. We'll move to the edge of our territory. Make sure we're taking one more turn of replenishment. Yeah, I don't know why these guys are not... They're definitely not in foreign territory. Yeah, I don't know. The replenishment indicators on those are real weird. So yeah, what I would like to do here is hit Ehrengrad and then quickly get back to Wolfenburg via those two other settlements. Unfortunately, there is going to have to be some amount of stopping in place and fighting. Or stopping in place, you know, because it takes a turn for us to occupy each of the settlements. Which means we have to leave Wolfenburg unattended for 4 turns, probably. 1 turn to take Ehrengrad, then a turn of movement between Ehrengrad and the other 2, and then we can probably go 1 turn each on them, because they're nice and close together. A lot of fighting between the Bretonnian nations, a lot of fighting other things that are just nearby. These guys want a non-aggression pact, and at this point, I think I'm inclined to take it, actually. They're going to like us working against Reichland. Yeah, let's try to have a friendly force on our north side. Friendly, a non-aggressive force, is what I mean to say. I'm a little worried, though, that we're not going to be able to get Ehrengrad, because I think all of those other armies are intent on taking it first. Alright, Sharon is Karen is huge. Very, very useful. And... I'm in normal movement mode. Okay, I could hit Ehrengrad this turn. Well, then I think we probably do it. We don't need to... We won't need to fight that battle manually. It's a 9-unit garrison. So... Am I pulling this trigger? I think I am. Okay, you get over here. We need you to scout westward. I think we should. I think we should take advantage of the Waaagh army. Hold on, though. We should, the way we should do this is by getting somebody who is at war with them to buy us in. So, where is Reichland? Reichland is at war with our vampire friends. They're not actually at war with the 2 factions that I thought were planning to take their stuff. But we could probably get one of our vampire friends to buy us into that war. The von Karsteins are in pretty desperate shape. Here's the thing. I'll go to war with Reichland on your behalf to defend you, my friend, my good friend. From military access, so that we don't accidentally cause problems with them. The fact is, they're so tiny and weak, this probably doesn't matter. Pay me. Here's what I actually want, is gold. Although you have a very weak economy, and you're probably not going to give me very much. Still low chance of success. I mean, they'll pay us something here. I know it's not like I need money desperately. Let's try 1,200. And I join your war. Okay, there we go. May as well get paid to do the thing if we were already going to do the thing. Alright, Ehrengrad is mine, obviously. Trivially. I don't know that we have enough movement. I'm gonna do loot and occupy here rather than taking the sack, because I don't know if we have enough movement to occupy Ehrengrad after sacking it this turn. We had to move pretty far just to get here in the first place. And I definitely don't want to spend another turn walking around up here. So now we have an interesting question with Ozhag. Characters max out at level 40. So what are we going to try to do with him? Is he going to try to push up? I mean, at this point, pushing up the red line doesn't seem strictly necessary. You have to spend 6 points in this box to get into this one. So we'd spend skill point 32 here, then 33 through 39 there. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get the really good red line stuff in the second box anyway. So yeah, let's just make him a better fighter, a better personal fighter. In particular, melee defense seems like it'd be useful. And our Orc Shaman has hit the very important level 20. Non-legendary characters at level 20 get access to the same immortality that all legendary characters have by default. After you've invested enough in a character to get them this high, immortality is very useful. Yes, that's right, that was me spending a bunch of words to convince you that immortality is a good thing. So, at this point, lads versus pressing toward giant and rogue idol upgrades. 10% extra physical resistance for the rogue idol does seem alright. Let's get this, though. We're talking about a third army sometime in the near future, and it's a good general purpose thing to have. Alright, let's fix Ehrengrad. And it looks like we do, in fact, get access to the normal special port buildings. You can see this one generates 2,000 gold per turn. We are actually really improving our economy at a pretty impressive rate here. I'm pretty sure we want a growth building rather than an obedience building there. And interesting, somehow Ostland controls Zoishank. That's what all these guys are doing. They weren't going for Ehrengrad, they're going to wipe that out. Okay, well, hey, I'm all about that. I guess that must be where their armies went. They weren't just destroyed in the field. One of them got further north. Yeah, okay, works for me. Alright, we're going to run one more sequence of enemy turns here, and then call it for the day. I have committed us to what some might describe as an unwise course of action. Starting a war with a faction that might be the strongest on our side of the map. The strongest faction in the entire eastern half of the world. Yep, and Mordheim is immediately in danger. It's a good thing we built all those defenses over there. We might have to abandon Rachnik's plan and have him run back out here. To be fair, when I started moving him into the mountains, I didn't know we were going to go to war with Reichland right away. Hey there, pal. Military alliance with a faction that currently has no armies? No. They might be about to lose their, They might be about to lose their whole thing to the Norskins, and if that happens, it'll be a shame. You know what? I don't really want to take an obedience loss in all provinces, but that growth gain is pretty significant, and we have a lot of bonus obedience from our, from the fact that we're Waaghing, so I'm going to avoid the tribute. We're going to take that growth gain. We have a bunch of stuff that we want to build up relatively quickly here. So, out of curiosity, World Strength Rank 2. Okay, Reichland's not the most powerful force in the entire world, at least. I bet the most powerful force in the entire world is the elves on Ulthuan. No, it's the Dark Elves of Harganeth, actually. Interesting, and we know them. Could we be bros? Could I pay you for us to be bros? I would pay you 6,000 gold. I've arbitrarily decided is a good number for this attempt. Let's make this really attractive to him. We're trending down, but we're only trending down a little bit, and as we fight with Reichland, their opinion of us will rise. We might be able to negotiate something with them. We don't necessarily need them to be like our full ally or anything, but it would be cool to be able to coordinate with them against our enemies. So what is Karl Franz bringing against us, out of curiosity? We can't really tell. But it looks like a lot of really basic units. He does have these Knights of the Blazing Sun, which have magical flaming weapons. That's pretty cool. We're defensed up in this province, right? Yeah, every place has an improved garrison and walls. What is the size of the garrison at Mordheim? 14? Alright, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do for defensive purposes there. Obviously, there are some decisions that need to be made, but those are decisions that can be made tomorrow. That is going to be out of time. This is going to be us out of time for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to keep fighting this vastly superior force that I maybe shouldn't have declared war on. But listen, at some point, we had to start chipping away at their big, ridiculous empire. Why not now? And we'll see you then.